Hey everyone, Mark and Joey here on Saturday morning, and Saturday morning means we're one day away from the excitement, mainly because Thursday nights have been crap, just a horrible game again. You're going to see lots happen in Carolina, I have a feeling. They look brutal. Cam Newton looks brutal, which he's been other than one season, way under expectations. But today we're talking about going to be our wagers for our football pool, which last week, what was our record?
We were 9-5 last week.
Happy with that?
So not bad. And Thursday night was a bummer. We actually lost that one. I thought Carolina would at least, get the win against a team like Tampa Bay. Cam Newton's shoulder, they're gonna blame that. I think that's the reason. But they need a new quarterback, new coach. They got a great running back, so they got to make some changes. But anyways, we are moving on to this week. And let's look at the games here. To start off, we got Seattle and Pittsburgh, which really is the game of the week for me. Seattle beat our home team. But, a big game, I think, for Seattle because you can start off 2-0, beat a team like Pittsburgh, give you some confidence. And then on the flip side, Pittsburgh has to win this game.
Well,
they can't start 0-2.
Desperation for Pittsburgh. But I got to say, Seattle, if they have any ideals on the Super Bowl, you have to beat Pittsburgh because New England demolished them. Not just beat them, but demolished them. And if you got to go through New England and you can't beat Pittsburgh, that's trouble.
Well, I must admit, the trip to Pittsburgh is a bit different, where Pittsburgh went and played in New England. I always give Seattle the home field advantage. If they're at home, they're definitely going to win more often. So if Pittsburgh is going there, I'd say it's a guarantee Seattle wins. But it is a trip for Seattle. But I just think it's a good statement game in Week 2. Get yourself up 2-0. And for Pittsburgh, not many teams make the playoffs from 0-2. Actually, in fact, if it wasn't for last year when Seattle did it hasn't been a team for many, many years. So Pittsburgh's got to get this win, so it's the most important game for both teams here. I am personally going to go with my Seattle Seahawks to cover the spread of plus 3.5 there. I think it's going to be a nail-biter, and hopefully a great game to kick off Week 2.
Well, it's going to be a nail-biter because Seattle will do the stupid running game again this week. 2 runs. They had 7 threes and outs last week. It's ridiculous. This whole thing's a mess. They only scored because Russell Wilson actually threw the ball a couple times to 2 incredible receivers. And I don't know what it takes for that coach to get it through his freaking head. He has 2 of the best receivers in the whole league. And it's all Russell running all over the place because his offensive line can't keep track of where the hell he is. Just step back 3 times and throw the ball. It's not that difficult. Both of his receivers can outrun defenders all the way. I say I'm in agreement with you. I just don't know. I'm not as confident in this one, but I'm going to go with Seattle. Little bit of a homer feel, and I'm thinking that eventually Pete Carroll's going to get fired or get rid of this stupid running game. We'll see what happens. But it's going to be a tough one.
Looks good, but anyways, let's move on. We got lots of games to cover. You can tell he's very positive on his Super Bowl pick.
Yeah, my Super Bowl pick.
We are going to then go on to another great game, Minnesota and Green Bay. And this is a game that kind of has some question marks as far as Minnesota goes. They did destroy Atlanta. I'm interested to see how they back it up in Green Bay. Green Bay looked fantastic against Chicago, and really that was with Aaron Rodgers being quite rusty, but the defense looked good. So, if Aaron Rodgers has defense, I do believe they are Super Bowl contenders. They're at home. They're -3. I'm going to take Green Bay -3 at Lambeau Field. And still, Kirk Cousins has not been really top teams. Atlanta has been bad the last couple of years, even though I thought they'd be better.
Yeah.
It's still not a top team, not a big win for Minnesota. But I tell you, if he goes into Green Bay and gets the win here, that'd be very impressive.
Well, I'll tell you what,
Green Bay.
You're right. We're not talking about Aaron Rodgers anymore. This defense was fantastic against Chicago. I think that's the difference coming this week.
Absolutely. So Green Bay in Green Bay. Then we got New England and Miami. Now this spread is so big; it's 19.5 points right now.
It's a college game.
But I think I'm gonna have to go with Miami to cover that spread, and really that's just because
I was not a consultant on this one.
Well, I just think
New England's going to win by 45 points.
First of all, they'll pull Brady. They'll put the rookie in. We don't know how he'll play. I still think he'll be just fine, but I think it's more. We haven't seen total blowouts by the Patriots. Yeah. Actually, unless it's against
Tom
a good
Brady's
team.
Too nice.
Well, Brady would rather blow out Pittsburgh than blow out Miami.
Plus, here's the interesting part. His record's like 1-8 with the temperature over 90.
Yeah.
And he actually mentioned the temperature again this week. Yeah. What is it with an all-star like Brady, the best quarterback to ever play the game? He worries about the temperature. It's unreal.
Funny enough, guess what the Super Bowl is?
In Miami. So that's why I'm picking them not to win this year.
We'll see. But anyways, I'm going to just pick Miami to cover spread.
It's a lot of points.
By the fourth quarter, all the starters are out. I think Gordon's out because he's had injury problems. So I mean, they'll just set them all, and then Miami might be able to put up 14 points in the fourth quarter. I don't want to risk that with a team like New England, who is actually pretty kind when you think about it. So Miami to cover the 19.5 point spread. The next game is going to be Dallas and Washington. Very intrigued by this one. Obviously, I think Dallas is going to win this division. They look really, really strong at home against the Giants. This is their first game on the road, so I'm kind of interested to see how it goes. But I said if Dallas wants to be a contender, you have to beat up on your division. They should beat up on the Washington.
Quarterback for the Giants? Eli?
Yeah.
This is a no-brainer.
They're not playing the Giants. They're playing Washington.
Oh, Washington. Sorry, I thought you mentioned New York. Sorry.
I did. They played New York this week. They beat him pretty easily.
Yeah,
but it was at home in Dallas. So we're going on the road to Washington. Can be a tough place to play. I think Dak Prescott's better than Case Keenum, though. This is a game you have to win if you're a Dallas Cowboys fan and teammate. I mean, you got to win this game. You got to beat up on your division to be a real contender.
And they'll do that.
So I'm going to go with Dallas at -6. San Francisco and Cincinnati. You know, very big question mark at Cincinnati after a great week 1, truthfully. Almost beat Seattle in Seattle. I think it's mostly because Seattle was rusty, but they showed a lot of promise. And Ross, the receiver, who's electrically fast.
Not a lot of points.
20 points look pretty good against the top defense. San Francisco did not impress me with their week 1 against Tampa Bay. Although we don't know how good Tampa Bay is. They come back and win week 2. I'm going to go with San Francisco to win this game. It's a 0-point spread right now. But don't be surprised if Cincinnati gets the upset here. They look very motivated with their new head coach and their young receivers stepping up.
I thought San Francisco or the Seahawks just looked horrible.
Anyways, LA Chargers -1.5 against Detroit. I'm definitely going with the Chargers here. Detroit blew a big lead against Arizona to tie. Detroit's just as bad as we thought they were. I'm going to go with the Chargers to bounce back here.
Who also blew a big lead.
They did. I mean, the Colts have an all-around better team, though, and really the quarterback made some good plays. But really, that running game for Indy held them in it. This week, though, I don't see that happening with the Chargers. I think Chargers go on and win this game. It's only a 1.5-point spread, so you're telling me Chargers won't beat Detroit?
Yeah.
You know, the Chargers are going to win.
They better.
Yeah. You got the Indianapolis Colts against Tennessee Titans. Now it's very impressive. Tennessee.
Both teams last week.
Yeah, well, you know, Colts didn't get the win, so who cares? But they had a good game. Yep. But really, it was because I think Chargers got up so big they played a little soft. We see that, unfortunately, these days. But Tennessee went out and just thromped Cleveland. And I was very impressed with that. I thought they would do that. I'm going to go with Tennessee here, -3. I think Tennessee's going to continue a decent run here. I said when Andrew Luck went down that they were the second best team in this division, only to Houston. So, you know, that means you got to win games like this. I think they'll be just fine. That defense looks strong. The running game looks strong. And if Mariota's healthy, they're actually been a playoff team for the last couple of years.
Exactly. Yeah, you can't go by 1 year of not performing.
So Tennessee -3. I like them at home, by the way. It's going to be very impressive there. So you got Arizona Cardinals +13 against Baltimore. So, you know, this is a tricky one for me, but I'm going to go with Baltimore -13. I don't know how the kid's going to continue to perform. I felt last week just because it was Detroit. Baltimore went out and crushed them. Lamar Jackson's confidence is now skyrocketing. I love it. They let him throw the ball, which I said they had to do. I think he's, you know, going to be
obviously he doesn't mind beating the crap out of the other team.
Hell no.
So we're not worried about the 14 points from that. Like he's going to feel bad.
What's funny, though, is you add Mark Ingram to that backfield of his, and then even Robert Griffin III came in and threw a touchdown. You know, it's pretty crazy. So they got it all going up there in Baltimore. So Baltimore at home against Arizona. No-brainer for me. Baltimore looked great in week 1. And Lamar Jackson, I told you they're going to open the playbook, and they did that. We said they'd win the division. I think that's still going to look.
And even Arizona with the new quarterback, they just fell asleep on the other side of the ball. Well, I don't think he's that good.
Baltimore's defense is pretty
monster,
good too. So. Buffalo Bills -2 against New York Giants. I had the Bills week 1. I'm going to go with the Bills again. You know, they played pretty bad and kind of got away with the win here. 4 turnovers and still won the game. I'm very impressed by the resilience. But most of that defense on the Buffalo Bills, everyone said it was the defense coming into this year. They stymied all the teams in preseason, stymied the Jets again that they couldn't score more than 16 points after giving the ball up 4 times. So, Buffalo Bills against the Giants, 100%.
Well, no problem. They only have to win 3-0. Eli won't get any points in this game.
May not. Jacksonville +8.5 at Houston. Houston had a great game against the Saints. Obviously, if you tuned in Monday night, the best game of the week. It was back and forth. We said they're going to be divisional winners. That means you got to beat Jacksonville. So 8.5. I like that cover of the spread. By the way, the Bills were -2.
Yeah.
The Chiefs and Raiders. Now, the Raiders came out and shocked us.
Wow.
Really, week 1.
Totally.
And this is in Oakland. So Kansas City going to Oakland. I think Kansas City will bounce back after a good win in Jacksonville. They're going to beat the Oakland Raiders here.
Totally.
I think, though, Tyreek Hill's out. Might be a little closer than expected. -7. I think I got to go with a touchdown for now. Kansas City -7. I'm going to take that. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's a really competitive game. Comes down to literally a touchdown. Oakland looked really, really good week 1.
Well, I think
the Chiefs' defense isn't that good.
Yeah,
and Tyreek Hill out for Kansas City, Sammy Watkins have to step up again in week 2.
And I think that's there, and we know they can throw like crazy.
Yeah. Chicago Bears -3 against Denver. I'm going to go with the Bears to bounce back here at -3.
This is a given. This is ridiculous.
Well, I don't know if it's a given. I think, Denver at home is always difficult for teams to travel there. The air is obviously very, very different. That's how they've survived all these years is their home record. So, but I'm going to go with Chicago. Chicago's a better team what they showed week 1. People are Vegas clearly got too overwhelmed with those odds.
Kidding.
In my mind. But so, anyways.
Game of the week.
Chicago -3. Saints +1.5 at the LA Rams. I'm going to go with the Saints all the way to not only cover this for 1.5, but the win. Might as well take them to win the game. I think the Rams looked a little rusty in week 1. I think they would have lost to any good team. And besides, it was Carolina. So I am going to go with the Saints. Saints beat them last year. I think the Saints can easily go back in there and win. They looked the most sharp, really, of week 1, even though they kind of gave up that back and forth lead. Drew Brees, in my mind, was the quarterback that looked the best in week 1 here, along with Tom Brady. So Drew Brees, in my mind, going to go to LA. I think he's going to have no problem there. And I think the Saints will get this win. So take them +1.5, or might as well take them to win the game. I'm going to do both.
And this is the Saints need to win these kinds of games. I mean, they want to be the number 1 seed. They got to take all these games.
Yeah, I mean, their division's so crap. You got to assume they got 6 wins there. So, they don't have to win a ton of these games. They could afford a loss here. They beat Houston like they had to. But I just think they're better. And I think Drew Brees, what you notice is the veteran quarterbacks looked good in week 1. The rookies and kind of the middle of the pack guys did not. So, I think Drew Brees continues it. Sean McVay has played none of his starts throughout preseason. Like I said, any good team would have beaten them week 1. It happened to be against Carolina. They got lucky in my mind. Sunday night football, guys. We got Philadelphia Eagles against the Atlanta Falcons. Philly -2. I'm going to go with Philly here. Philly came back and had a great win against Washington. I'm a little upset they gave a touchdown at the end. Clearly don't look at the spreads, and I'm very upset about that. But anyways, they came back, had a great game. They looked obviously awful, down 21-0. But as soon as they got their stuff together, they were the team we thought they were. Carson Wentz at the helm. This team is very, very good in playoff bound. So they're going to Atlanta. Atlanta disappointed me last week. I thought they were going to bounce back.
I just do not understand Atlanta. I can't get it. They're some of the best skilled players in the whole league. It's obvious if Atlanta goes down 0-2, they got to start looking to trade Ryan, even Julio Jones, really because they owe him. He's stuck with his team. They just signed him, but they owe him a Super Bowl. I think they got to do something. I can't believe they're this bad. It was shocking.
Yeah,
last week
anyways,
shocking.
I'm going to go based off week 1 and go with Philly, who I thought was going to be good anyway. Atlanta, though, man, you guys step up. It would be interesting. It wouldn't shock me if Atlanta had a good game, but, wow, they got a lot of work to do. And like you said, maybe players and coach should be heading up. Monday Night Football, we'll do another show on Monday to get more specific, but Monday Night Football is Cleveland and the New York Jets.
If we need to, if nothing changes.
Yeah, if nothing changes. Cleveland and the New York Jets, Sam Darnold's out for this one, so the spread went from -2 to -7 for Cleveland. I think Cleveland is going to wreck them now without Sam Darnold at the helm for the New York Jets. Le'Veon Bell had a decent game, but not a great game.
He's even a little questionable.
His shoulder's a little up and down, although he said he's going to play. I just think Cleveland's going to have to bounce back. I think they will. This is their first primetime game in a very, very long time. So, Cleveland...
And they looked horrible last week, so they got to bring it back.
My one fear is obviously the offensive line of Cleveland looked really bad. Yeah. Can the defense do enough to stop them? I don't think they can because I don't think the offense of the Jets can put up more than maybe 14 points. So you're telling me, defense. I need Cleveland to put up 21. And that's if New York can even score 14 points. Because you got to remember, Cleveland had a good defense until really Tennessee just took it over. And they were on the field for so long they get points. So Cleveland -7 all the way on Monday Night Football.
I think so. So we no 2 games on Monday night. One game this week. One game. So we're into the one game Mondays, which is awesome because the game was pretty late last week. So I'm happy about that. Us old men have to get to bed, and so I'm glad it's only one game Monday. There you go. 9-5 last week. A great start to the season. We think this is a week that we're really good in the pool. We never bet all the games. This is our pool. We have to make sure people understand that. You can pick and choose. We are going to do our wagering show where we actually talk about the wagers we're going to make, not this one. This is a whole pool. In case you're in an office pool or what you might be in, this is what we're picking. And again, we've had great records doing this, 9-5 last week. Good job on Joey's part. So we'll look forward to coming with our other NFL shows here and look forward to a weekend of great football.